Hello everybody, get ready to do lesson 8.8 of pre-algebra math, solving systems of equations graphically. Part 1, part 2 is available here. Systems of linear equations, we got a 34-point skill sheet for classwork students. Get that, email me for that. And then your notebook guide, you can even email me for that, worth 10 points today. Teachers, here is your bell work for the day. Multiple choice here. What is the value of f of -4? And then down here, multiple choice. G is linear, G of -3. What is the slope of the graph of G? So I give your students 6 minutes to solve this, students. Or rather, yeah, students, you solve in 6 minutes. Teachers, give your students 6 minutes. Okay, welcome back for the solutions for today's bell work. And the solutions for number 1 here is D. F of x equals -7x minus 11. So we plug in -4 here and we get 17. And then for number 2, F, -328 and 0,4. We find our slope here and it's -8. And that would be, the solution would be F for 2. Into our lesson today, 8.8, a system of linear equations. Here we have a system here, equation 1 and equation 2. How would we find a solution to this system here? In two variables is an ordered pair, that is a solution of each equation in the system. A linear system has a solution at each point where the graphs of the equations intersect. So basically, a solution of this system here is the intersection of these two lines. Students, here is your vocabulary that goes in your notebook entry, page 2, 8.8. Make that entry. I check vocabulary on Friday, teachers. So students, if you were in my classroom, that's what we do on Fridays. Okay, our first example here, solving a system of linear equations. Here's our system here. Equation 1 and equation 2. How would we solve it? Oh, well, here they are. Here's the graphs of these two lines and where they intersect at 1, -2 would be the solution here. So are we going to check that? Well, identify the apparent intersection here. Are we going to check this? Verify. So the solution of the system by substituting 1 for x and -2 for y in each equation. That'd be the way to check it algebraically, is to substitute those values into each equation and see if they equal each other. So -2, -2, so they do. So when x equals -1, y equals -2 would be the reasoning behind that. So the solution would be 1, -2. Into our first guided practice here, one wall of a shoe store is used to display court shoes and running shoes. There's enough room on the wall for 120 styles of shoes. Based on past sales, the store manager wants to display twice as many running shoes as court shoes. Write and solve a linear system to find a number of each type of shoe to display. We're going to do this guided practice, students. This one's on you. Solve this linear system by graphing. So let's go into our guided practice now for this to solve their guided practice. This would be how you'd set it up. X equals court shoes, y equals running shoes. Types of court, types of running, x plus y equals 120. So y equals -x plus 120. So the types of running shoes equals 2 times the types of court shoes. We have y equals 2x. Would be a solution here for this. That would be a line that you would graph for that. And then this would be the graph of that situation. And then they intersect here at 4080. The solution would be 4080. So the store manager should display 40 types of court shoes and 80 types of running shoes to satisfy that parameter here of 120 total. Okay, so further on, a number of solutions, as you saw in example 1, when graphs of two linears have exactly one point of intersection, the related system has exactly one solution. It is also possible for a linear system to have no solution or infinitely many solutions. So how do you manage that? Well, solving a linear system with no solution here, here's our two equations. So graph the equations, guess what? They both have the same slope here, -2. So they'll never intersect or parallel. So since they're parallel, they'll never have a solution. But they have different y-intercepts. I mean, here it's 1, there it's 5, and they both have negative slopes here of -2, so that we know, but there's no solution to the system. They don't have a solution. Okay, so solve the linear system by graphing. Same for you down here, students. This is our guided practice up here. There's your grid. You'll have that on your class worksheet if you email me. Okay, let's do our guided here. So here's our grid. Here's our system here. So where do these intersect at? Well, we have y equals x plus 3. Wait a minute here. Solve the linear system by graphing. They're both the same. So they're both the same line. So I have infinitely many solutions. When they're the same line, they'll have infinitely many solutions. And that is 8.8.1, part 1. Part 2 is available here. Thank you very much.